Hello students, this is PDG ma'am, and today I will be discussing a bit about the sample papers. I'm talking about the CBSE sample papers and I'm talking about students of class 12. Okay, you must have seen that sample papers have been published. It's there on the net. The board has published the sample papers, and I just wanted to discuss it a bit with you because I found some of the students getting a little confused with what they are supposed to do or how they are supposed to answer. So I'll try to clarify some of the doubts, which I feel that this is how it's going to happen, because that is what we have heard. And whatever little information right now I have, I will try to give it out to you, and if that helps you, then that's wonderful. So if you are a class 12 student and if you are from CBSE board, then you might watch this video, you might find it useful. If you are from any other board, or if you're not from class 12, then you might just skip. That's your wish, and if you want to still listen, you're welcome. Now, coming to the sample papers, now let me first tell you that from this year the pattern has drastically changed. I'm sure you all know about it, that now from this year onwards, at least for this year, your entire session is divided into two terms, term 1 and term 2. Okay, and your curriculum also, which is there on the net, you must have seen that there has been a division as what is to be there in term 1 and what shall be there in term 2. And the good part is that what you learn in term 1 is not again repeated in term 2, and what is there in term 2 is separate. It was not there in term 1. So that way your burden is less, it's reduced a bit, which is good. Now, going according to that pattern, you know that this time MCQs have become very, very important. Okay, and if you are talking about the term 1 is based on MCQs. Okay, and your marks is either it's a 40 marks paper or a 35 marks paper. There are other marks papers also, like for painting you have a total different division of marks, but I'm considering the more or less the common subjects. There you either have a 40 marks paper or you have a 35 marks paper. Okay, 40 marks paper, like you have it for accountancy, you have business studies. Okay, since I'm from commerce background, so I'm talking about commerce subjects mostly. And if you talk about subjects like psychology, entrepreneurship, physical education, these are falling into the category of that 35 marks. I'm talking about term 1. Okay, now if you have seen your sample paper, what I have found my students asking me is, ma'am, it's a 40 marks paper or it's a 35 marks paper, but in the sample paper we are given 60 questions. Now, what does that mean? How many questions do we have to answer? Do we answer only 35 questions out of all the given 60 questions? Or shall we answer only 40 questions out of all the 60 questions that are given to us? And what is the marks, ma'am? Is it all carrying 1 mark each? Then it is not coming to 35, it is coming to it's coming to 60. Because going by the number of questions, since there are 60 questions, so going by the logic that if each question carries 1 mark, that's a 60 marks paper. So there are a lot of confusion in the minds of the students. That is what I have found out. So I'll just try to clear it a bit. Please refer to whatever your teachers are saying. Please follow what your teacher, your school is telling you. They will be the best to guide you. But this is specifically for my students, and whatever little I have understood, I'm sharing it with you. If you find it useful, I'll be very happy. Now, yes, your paper, when you see the question paper, that is when you find your sample paper, you will see that there are 60 questions. Okay, out of which you will be asked to answer 50 questions. All right, yeah, you will. I'll just check. I'm just checking it also so that I don't go wrong. In most of the cases, out of 60 questions, you will be asked to answer 50 questions. So that means Yes, so as I was saying that out of 60 questions, you will attempt 50 questions. That means you have an option. So you have to make a choice, okay? There will be 60 questions given to you, but you attempt 50 questions. What is the time period? The time allotted is 90 minutes. Okay, that is 1.5 hours. What is the marks? It is either 40 or 35. I'm sticking to business studies and entrepreneurship in this particular video. So if you are talking about business studies, your marks is 40. For term 1, I'm talking about, your marks is 40. If you are an entrepreneurship student, then your term 1 marks, max marks, is 35. I'm repeating once again, when you get your question paper, if it is set according to the sample paper that has been given out by the board, if the school is sticking exactly to the pattern that has been prescribed or given by the board, then this is how your paper will look. Your question paper will have 60 questions, 60 MCQ questions, okay, MCQs. Out of that 60, you will attempt 50 questions of your choice. Okay, if it is a business studies paper, then the max marks is 40. If it is an entrepreneurship paper, then the max marks is 35. The time allotted for both the business studies paper and the entrepreneurship paper is 90 minutes. This much is clear? Okay, now the next thing is then what is the weightage of each question? Now here we will apply a simple unitary method. Okay, the thing is that if 50 questions carry 40 marks, then how much should one question carry? So that will give you 0.8. I guess it's 0.8. Yes, it's 0.8. So for business studies, I'm talking about like for 40 marks paper. Okay, if it's a 40 marks paper, then each question carries 0.8 marks. Alright, going by simple unitary method. 50 questions carries 40 marks. Therefore, one question will carry 40 divided by 50, which is coming to 0.8 marks. Same way for entrepreneurship, 50 question carries 35 marks. Therefore, each question will carry 35 by 50, which will give you 0.7. Yeah, 0.7 marks. So each question carries 7 marks. Okay, so please do understand that it is nothing like we are normally, when we look at MCQs, we have this habit that each MCQ will carry 1 mark. That is how we were used to till now. But now onwards, please understand that your MCQs are, it's not necessary for your MCQs to carry 1 mark each. Some subjects they are carrying, I guess mathematics or some of the language paper, they are having 1 mark each. But as far as your business studies is concerned and your entrepreneurship is concerned, it is either 0.8 or 0.7 per question. So you are attempting. Now whatever marks you are getting, accordingly you will be judged. Your marks will come out. Now there is a high chance, since each question carries this decimal thing, you know, the marks allotted is in fraction, it's in decimal. So there's a high chance that after calculating your total marks might also come in a fraction or in a decimal. Okay, it might not be a whole number. So in that case, what do we do? Now here the board has specified, this also please keep in your mind, because this is also a little different from what we usually do. It is, the board is saying that if you are getting something in point, something in decimal, then we will take the next higher number. Like suppose you have got 20.1. That is the marks scored by you. Okay, in that case, what we will write? We will write not 20.1, we will write 21. But normally what we used to do? We used to consider 0.5 to be the benchmark. 0.5 or more, we used to take it to the next number. If it was less than 0.5, we used to keep the same number. But now nothing like that. You straight away go to the next higher number. Okay, so that's all about your sample paper, and I guess whatever doubts you have, these were the questions that I had come across. So I think I've been able to answer that. Now, if you talk about advice from my side, what I've seen, or by studying your paper, what I understood is two things will become very important for you from now onwards. One is time management, the other one is decision making. Okay, because do remember, you have to answer 50 MCQ. Okay, and you cannot expect in class 12 level, you cannot expect all the MCQs to be very very easy. Kind of, there will be some analytical kind of MCQs which will be tricky, MCQs which can be confusing, MCQs where you might think like, option A is also right, option B is also right, option C is also right, D is also right, all are looking almost good. But it's not almost good, it's the best answer, the best alternative. Okay, so these are things which you have to keep in your mind. Go through your paper. I don't know whether that 15 minutes study time or reading time is there or not, that we will have to clarify, but whatever. So when you get the paper, go through it, read it, okay, and be fast with answering, but don't be in a hurry, then you make mistakes. So don't be in a hurry, but don't take too much time to think on a particular question. My advice would be, keep on answering the ones which you are comfortable, just keep them answering those, and get back to the ones which are difficult, or which you are having a little difficulty, or where you have to think a bit. Keep them first, you finish off with the ones which you are comfortable, which you're sure about. Okay, so start practicing more of sample papers. The board is issuing sample papers of different publishers have come out. Sit together with friends if possible, discuss the different kinds of sample papers that you have. You can also send pictures, screenshots, and everything. Everything is possible. If you really want to make it happen, it will happen. Okay, so go through all the sample papers, get accustomed to the system. Time management is very very important. You cannot waste your time. Second thing is, be very wise with your decision, because whenever a choice has to be made, you have to be very careful. Okay, you cannot lose out your time thinking क्या करना है क्या नहीं करना है, ये कर सकते हैं वो भी कर सकते हैं, नहीं है. ठीक है, आप लोगों को डिसीजन लेना है, सोच समझ के लेना है, और आप लोग ज़्यादा टाइम भी उसे नहीं दे पाओगे. जल्दी जल्दी लेना है, हरी नहीं करना है, लेकिन एक क्वेश्चन के पीछे हमें ज़्यादा वक्त भी नहीं बिताना है. ओके, सो स्टार्ट practicing more of these. Read the chapters well, read in between the lines, try to get the essence of the chapters. Whenever you're getting stuck, clarify it from your teachers. My students ask me a lot of questions, they keep on sending me questions in WhatsApp, and when we take online classes there also, when we are not taking online classes, that time also there are so many questions coming in from my students. I appreciate that, that's very good, and I'm sure you people are also doing it. So clarify your doubts, so that when you are there to answer the paper, you can do it. MCQs are very scoring. Okay, so don't worry, MCQs are scoring. It's very fun, it's easy. If you have been serious with your studies, then I don't think MCQs will give you much of trouble. But just keep on practicing, so that that time management thing and decision making skills develop in you more. Okay, all the best for all your examinations that you will be giving this year, coming year. All the best, and I'll keep on discussing more of sample papers. Thank you so much.